Welcome to our Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. It is December 7th, 2023. It is my absolute pleasure, honor, and privilege to be your host. As always, my name is Pamela Pacheco. For those that do not know me, welcome to our Breakfast Club call. I remember when I first started entrepreneurship a decade ago, I was looking forward to these type of morning calls, not only for the information I was going to receive, but for the inspiration I was going to receive, because I've always understood garbage in is garbage out, greatness in is greatness out, and how you start your day sets the tone for your day. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that are doing what you need to do to start your day off with some positivity, to set your day on the right track. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see we have Georgia on the call. We have Michigan. We have Philly. We have Jersey on the call. New York City's on the call. Tampa, Florida. Orlando, Florida. Welcome, Atlanta. Welcome, Philly. Welcome, New York City. Welcome, Jamaica. Welcome, Trinidad. Welcome, Washington. Man, I know it is early over there for y'all. Thank you guys so much for being on. Chicago. Kindly state your name. Let me see where you guys are dialing in from. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So in the event that you missed our Breakfast Club call last week, I just put the link in the chat, right? To make sure you tune in. We spoke about turning obstacles into opportunities and making sure that we are capitalizing on each and every single obstacle to turn it into an opportunity. And even though that this Breakfast Club call is maybe company specific and industry specific, it is world relatable, because whether you have a business, whether you have a career, these are all things that you can apply to your day-to-day lives. And we always say that our mindset is where our minds sit. And if it is not allowing us to grow in our family, if it's not allowing us to grow in our faith, if it's not allowing us to grow in our fortune, if it's not allowing us to grow in our fitness, if it's not allowing us to grow in every aspect in our fun, do not let it sit there. Do not let it occupy the most expensive piece of real estate that we have. So today, what we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about some steps of a faithful leader, right? And when you're talking about business, and again, it's not to impose my faith and belief upon anybody, because we welcome all faiths, we welcome all religions here. And what I love about this, that this is something that we can apply to each and every single aspect of our lives. And when we're talking about what we're going to talk about today, not only are the steps of a faithful leader, but the laws of sowing and reaping in business, because it is akin to the principle of cause and effect. And when we talk about the law of sowing and reaping, it suggests that the efforts and the resources that we invest, meaning you're sowing, right, it will directly impact the results of the outcomes and that you achieve, which is our reaping. And not only today, but in the long term, whether it's you working consistently hard work, strategic decisions, and ethical practices, that it often contributes to the successful harvest in the business context. And a lot of times we just think that, okay, well, it's going to happen overnight. And I know we live in a society that has that microwave mentality, right? Where we think that things are going to happen overnight, but the people that understand business, the people that understand that longevity, the people that understand sustainability, understand that it has to start somewhere, right? And the law of sowing and reaping is crucial in business because it emphasizes the connection between efforts and your outcomes. Understanding and applying this principle helps businesses. And when we're talking about building our Seacret business, when we're talking about whether you are embarking upon social selling, whether you are building your network marketing business, whether you are embarking in your career, in anything, as a faithful leader, as someone that you have to believe in sowing and reaping. And when we talk about some of the steps of a faithful leader, number one is seeing, right? Because faith sees in the seed. And that is one of the things that when we talk about the law of sowing and reaping, it has to do with a lot of strategic planning, because this strategic planning, it's what encourages businesses and encourages entrepreneurs and encourages us each and every single day to plan and to execute strategies thoroughly and thoughtfully considering the long-term consequences of our actions. And these ethical practices that we talk about, and us making sure that we have these strategic planning, it goes a long way. So what does that look like for you on a day-to-day basis? Whether you are setting time out for income producing activities, whether you're the person that's like, you know what, Pam, it's kind of hard for me to practice. It's kind of hard for me to just focus sometimes because I have so many other things. I'm still juggling my career. I'm still juggling family. I'm still juggling several factors of my life that have to do with other things that at the moment may be of priority for me. How do I actually, strategize? How do I incorporate that? And that strategic planning, it has to do with you seeing, right? Seeing first what you believe in. It's you having that vision, because how many of us know that when motivation can no longer push you, that vision for your life, that vision for your business, that vision for your family, that vision for your legacy that's going to outlive you, it is what is going to pull you. So having a strategic plan in place is key, but also knowing that what does that look like on a daily basis to you? How do you maximize your time? How do you know that you are operating in your highest and best use at each and every single moment? Well, it's taking out the time to plan out your calendar. So we're hearing every day, your December, making it a December to remember. And we've had so many calls this week that have been focusing on just that, making sure that you have the tools, making sure that you have the resources, right? Making sure that you are not getting overwhelmed with the holiday season, because how many of us know that goals do not observe holidays, right? A lot of people think that it's like, Christmas is one day, right? New Year's, it's one day. It is not an entire month, but a lot of people take this time off. And the people that have a vision for their life, or the people that say, hey, you know what, I want to start the new year today. It's the new year, new me. A lot of people often take that for granted or ridicule the people that have that new year, new me. Why? Because people are not changing their habits. So if you want 2024 to look different, if you want your life to look different, if you want your business to look different, what are you doing today? What are you doing each and every single day to make sure that that is taking place? Right? What are you doing each and every single day to make sure that you are bringing that vision to fruition in your life, to make sure that you are painting the perfect picture for what it is that you want? But what are you doing each and every single day? So being at your highest and best use means, hey, I'm going to optimize my calendar for success, right? Goals do not observe holidays. So what am I doing each and every single day? And maybe you're the person that's like, well, Pam, Kwanzaa is a lot more than just one day. And I get it. I'm very respectful of whatever your traditions are, whatever your beliefs are. That is amazing. But what would you rather? Do you rather celebrate your holidays once a year, or do you rather live a lifestyle that you do not have to escape from? Do you rather live a lifestyle that you can go on holiday whenever you choose to? So having a strategic plan in place is going to allow you to execute these strategies thoughtfully and thoroughly, and considering what is going to be the long-term consequences of your actions. So optimizing your calendar. And when you're optimizing your calendar, right, if you're talking about making it a December to remember, if you're talking about setting yourself up for success, sowing and reaping, you also understand is I have to take time for income producing activities. And a lot of times, right, we say, you know what, reading a book is not necessarily an income producing activity. But guess what? Sometimes if your mindset is not where it needs to be, you can do all of the income producing activities in the world. You can take the time out to make the calls. You can take the time out to follow up. You can take the time out to plant the seeds. But if you're mentally and spiritually not there, because we hear it all the time, success is a game of inches, it's not going to work. You can talk till you are blue in the face, but if it's not coming from a come from of authenticity, if it's not coming from a come from of genuine excitement, People can feel that. Just like a dog can smell fear, your friends and your family and the people that you are talking to can feel if your energy is not being authentic, can feel if your energy is not being truthful, can feel if your energy is not genuinely excited for what it is that you are talking about. So when we're talking about this law of sowing and reaping, right? Consistency matters each and every single time, because the consistency is what's going to highlight the importance of the consistent effort and quality in your daily activities, in the quality in what those conversations look like, in the quality in what it is that you are doing each and every single day to make sure that you are bringing that vision to fruition for your business, for your life, for your family, for each and every single aspect of what it is that we are doing. So when you talk about, the steps of a faithful leader, it's faith works in the dirt. And a lot of times it's like, we don't want to put in that work. And it's like, then you're wondering why you're not getting the results for the work that you haven't put in. But you can't get mad at the points you're not scoring, for the laps that you're not running, for the effort that you're not putting in. So nothing happens overnight. And a lot of times we look at other people's lifestyles and we look at other people's success, and you're like, why not me? Well, have you put in the work to be deserving of that? Have you been consistently persistent in your efforts? Because we say it all the time, tag them, we bag them, right? Well, in any aspect, but you have to be the person that is putting in the work. And if this is making sense, type a 1 in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. If you guys are getting value, as always, it is. I read all of your comments. So want to make sure that this is making sense, because at the end of the day, it's we all deserve this abundant life. We all deserve this. We all deserve that vision to come to fruition. But are you working in the dirt? Are you working when you don't want to? Are you working when it's tough? Are you working when you're tired? Are you working? And I'm not saying, listen, your girl has been battling the flu and it was, whoo, Jesus Christ, like it was a lot. Okay, it was a lot, right? But I also understood, okay, my body needs rest right now. Well, what can I do in between? What can I do as soon as I am better, right? I'm not necessarily going to be at every meeting right now. I'm not going to be making the calls because my voice was sounding crazy, but let me go ahead and send some messages out. Let me go ahead and do some type of income producing activities. Let me go ahead and set myself up for success, because I knew, right, that there's a new day. I knew that I was going to feel better eventually, but I am planning for that. But if you're not sowing, if you're not working in the dirt, there's no way that you are going to be able to reap anything. Because again, the law of sowing and reaping is you have to be consistently persistent, because the more consistent that we are, and the quality of effort that we're putting in, and the quality of whether we're demonstrating our product demos, whether we are having conversations, guys, and I believe each and every single day that there's so many different ways that we can go about sharing this opportunity with people, that we can go about being a blessing to people. It doesn't always have to be a PowerPoint. It doesn't always have to be a push play video. It can just be a conversation. I'm a strong believer, if you know, I love humanizing the sales process, because people always want to buy, but they don't want to be sold. And what is missing in the business world is real people having real conversations, having real interactions, genuinely building relationships, for people to actually know that you care about them, that you're not just looking at them as a dollar, but you genuinely care about their livelihoods. You genuinely care about what that vision looks like for their families. You genuinely care about what that legacy looks like in each and every single aspect of their life. So that consistency matters, in not only in the quality in the operations, in our products, in our services, but fostering a positive reputation, fostering a positive customer loyalty, fostering more than anything your brand, because you take you everywhere you go. So what is it that you want to be known for? Because each and every single day, as you are working in the dirt, right, you're building your brand. It's not only you just building your business. So when you ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? What do I want people's experience of me to be? Are you showing up as such each and every single day? So when we continuously talk about, the importance of why it's important to the law of sowing and reaping in businesses, it also is about adaptability. It's recognizing that sometimes that we have to pivot. Sometimes we have to adjust. Leaders are the ones that are able to adapt. The quicker that you're able to adapt in the business world, the quicker that you're able to adapt in life, you're recognizing the need for businesses not only to adapt into changes in the marketplace and industry trends to ensure continued success, but not only success today, but what does that legacy look like for you and for your family? What does it look like for each and every single aspect of what that vision looks like for your life, of what that legacy looks like for your lifestyle, right? And when we talk about the law of sowing and reaping is knowing that it also has a lot to do with you building relationships, right? With you emphasizing the value of building strong relationships with your customers, within your community, with the people, with your partners, with your teammates. And a lot of people think that it's like, oh man, she asking a little bit too much personal questions, right? I'm the person that's like, I'm asking about your mama. I'm asking about your family. I want to know about your kids. I write this stuff down. Why? Because I also care. And for me, it's like, I'm not looking at somebody as a dollar. I'm looking at somebody like, how can I help you achieve your dreams? How can I help you get a step closer to what that legacy looks like for your family, for what that legacy looks like for your business? Because your legacy is what's going to outlive you. But guess what? Your reputation precedes you. One of the reasons that I have been so blessed in a community that I literally moved here to Tampa, Florida 2 years ago is because people that know me I've built a community that people know me and they're like, what you see is what you get. And the reasons why doors have opened is because my name is in conversations before I've entered the room that I have no clue about, right? My phone is ringing, emails, this, that. And I am so grateful to God for it. But it's also because I've been focusing on building genuine relationships. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. But these relationships building is what is going to open doors that, listen, I got a master's in international business and finance. Trust and believe, I'm not getting in these doors because of my master's degree. I'm not getting in these doors because of that. I'll tell you what though, the relationship building definitely outlives you. It's interesting because I got invited to speak at the Dominican consulate in Miami. And the reason why I got invited to speak at the Dominican consulate in Miami is because of my mother's, may God rest her soul. If you know Benny, you know, my mom was a huge politician. My mom was a deacon in her church. My mom was huge in the community. My mom was huge in the business world. And what those relationships that she built, I am still reaping the benefits of it, right? Because again, those relationships are going to open doors that other people can't. And when people are like, when people are trying to shut a door, let me tell you something, that relationship, but God said, okay, it's going to open the door and it's going to keep that door wide open because you are deserving of that. But it's because of the relationships that you have built. And if you think that you building relationships is not important, you have missed it. If you see that, oh, well, my team is not moving as fast as I wanted to, have you even just done a wellness check? We spoke about that the other day, right? On last week's call, like the importance of wellness checks, because it's talking to people. This is a people business. And in any business that you have, you need people, right? I don't care how much this world of AI continues to grow. It will never replace genuine, authentic relationships with people. And if you are looking at your life and your lifestyle, and you're like, man, I want more. I deserve an abundant life. I deserve for me to be living in my wildest dreams. I want you to ask yourself, when was the last time that you sowed a seed into your community? When was the last time that you sowed a seed into somebody's life without getting a benefit, without seeing what you can gain? Because the quality of life that we have is always going to be dependent upon the value and the quality that we're adding into other people's lives. You can't expect to get what you are not giving. So when we talk about relationship building, when we talk about law of sowing and reaping, are you planting? Right? Are you planting? Are you doing the work or the faith that works in the dirt? Are you planting the seeds? Because let me tell you something. I know I'm good soil. I know that. And anybody that knows, knows. Right? But do you know that about you? Do you know that about the conversations that you're having? Do you know that about the circles that you're having? And maybe you're the person that's like, but Pam, you know, and we hear this all the time. One of people's biggest excuse sometimes when you're doing something is saying, hey, I know I don't got people to talk to. Have you guys ever heard that? Type one in the chat. Let me see. Make sure. Right? Okay. Right. We hear that all the time. We're like, I don't have people to talk to. The list of people you don't know is longer than the list of people you know. Right. And a lot of people, I remember when my mentor first told me that a decade ago, I was like, that sounds good. But the reality is, like, who wants to go talk to strangers? Who wants to go talk to strangers? Nobody. Right. But the reality is that do you want a local business or do you want a global business? So I've always, and this is a statistic, don't blame it on me. By the time you're 21, you know 1,000 people by first name or 1,000 people know you. One of the two or both. Okay. But go out there, go talk to people, go network. Go build genuine relationships. Go ask people how you're doing. Just have a conversation. The reason why a lot of people are not winning in the business world, where you see so many businesses shutting down, so many people that are failing to adapt and thrive in this changing market, is because they're not pivoting. They're not just getting back to the basics of people. Success is a contact sport, right? And rent is due each and every single day, but what do your conversations look like? If you could get paid right now because of the value that you just added into people's lives based on the conversations that you were just having, would you be rich right now beyond belief? Or would you not be, because your conversations are with the same 7 to 10 people that you feel comfortable talking to? But how many of us hear all the time that you get outside of your comfort zone because everything outside of your comfort zone is your wealth zone? See, if your comfort zone is what would be allowing you to grow, it would not be comfortable. Because when you are in the law of sowing and reaping, when you know you are planting the seeds, when you know that you're working in the dirt, it's going to get a little bit uncomfortable, right? It's going to get a little bit awkward. Am I going to sit here and lie to you and tell you, oh, the first networking event that I went to, it's so amazing. I knew exactly what to say. I knew exactly what to do. I knew exactly how to talk to people. No, but I've been doing this for the last 10 years. So consistently persistent, you grow. And as you grow, guess what also happens? You get better. And as you get better, guess what else you can do? Help your neighbor get better. Help your teammates get better. Help your family get better. Help your community get better. Because it's about onward and upward. It's always moving forward. So how are you doing that on a daily basis to make sure that you're planting the seeds of what it is that you want to reap? Now, and when we also talk about, the law of sowing and reaping is saying that you're going to rejoice. You have to stay, right? You have to see in the seed, you have to sow, but you also have to stay. You have to understand that your faith is going to rejoice in the harvest. And, some people are like, okay, faith is, having hope for the stuff that is unseen. And I get that. But it's interesting because my pastor at church was talking about this last Sunday, and it just hit me, because hope is also saying it's the confident expectation about the results of faith. Because a lot of us can have faith, but do you have the hope that it's going to happen for you? Because you can have faith and believe in something, but do you still have hope that it's possible for you? Do you still have hope that it's possible for your dreams? Do you still have hope that it's possible for your business, that it's possible for your family, that it's possible for your fitness, that it's possible for your fun, that it's possible for your life, for your legacy? Hope is the only tie which keeps the heart from breaking, as Thomas Fuller would say. But when we talk about the law of sowing and reaping, it is absolutely crucial, because it is the absolute connection between the effort and the outcome. What are you doing each and every single day matters in each and every single aspect of our life. And when we talk about the law of sowing and reaping, it encourages a holistic and sustainable approach to business, to fostering success through thoughtful planning, through strategies, through each and every single day, it's through community building. And here's another thing, that when you're talking about sowing and reaping, right? A lot of times it's you knowing that the ethical practices that you're promoting each and every single day in how you go about business, in how you go about building these relationships, because are you promoting an ethical conduct? Because the reality is that as negative actions can have repercussions on a company's reputation, they can definitely and certainly will have it on a person's reputation and success over time. So a lot of times people were like, oh, well, you know what? This person I saw and they had success, and oh my God, guess what? God is your character. God is only going to give you the success, but your character is going to sustain you. Your character is what's going to sustain you. Your character is what's going to allow you to continue to prosper or to fail. When you see people that they have a success, and it's like, because God is only going to take you where your character can sustain you. So it's, are you showing up as who you really are? Is what you're doing each and every single day matter? What you're doing behind the scenes, because you get paid in public for what you're doing private each and every single day. So making sure that what we're doing is truthful to you. And if it's something that you're like, you know what, I'm not saying that nobody is perfect, right? Because none of us are. But the reality of the matter is that we're all entitled to make mistakes. Give yourself some grace. But at the end of the day, you know what means the most to you. You know what it is that vision looks like for your family, what that vision looks like for your business. So if you are saying, okay, the law of sowing and reaping, there is nothing in this world that you cannot overcome. When we talked about last week of overcoming obstacles and turning each and every single obstacle into opportunity, because it's understanding that if you have a vision, if you know, it's like, okay, I can give myself some grace. You know what? I made some mistakes. It's okay. I'm not my mistakes. I'm not my past. Don't let your past, don't let your mistakes imprison you, right? Let that vision pull you. Let what that looks like for your life, but work on it each and every single day, because the law of sowing and reaping understands that many of the big things that God is doing in our life, and it's the heels of the small things that we're doing. It's mastering the mundane each and every single time. So what does that mundane look like here? Are you making the calls? Are you setting up the appointments? Are you doing the 2-on-1s? Are you doing the 1-on-1s? Are you doing the 3-way calls? Are you getting on the calls? We have such an amazing platform for success that we have so many tools, so many resources each and every single day for us to be able to grow our businesses, because we understand that we have to grow our mindset each and every single day. So when you're talking about the law of sowing and reaping, it's, as leaders, it's knowing that the small things that we're doing each and every single day matter long term. As leaders, it's keeping the faith is one of the greatest things that we can do. But the truth is that a lot of us underestimate the power of a heart that is committed to believing. It is a heart that is committed to not only believing the will of God over your life and the will of God over your business, or what it is what that vision looks like, but it's not the size. It's not the size of our faith that counts, but rather the size of the God that we serve. But understanding also is like what you're doing each and every single day matters. That is the law of sowing and reaping. It is knowing that you can't reap a harvest. You can't rejoice in a harvest that you're not sowing the seeds each and every single day, because what we do each and every single day matters. And ask yourself, when was the last time that if you are in a place where you're just like, you know what, I know that I have to reap. I deserve a bigger harvest. I know that I want to go into this new year of how can I make sure that I am making sure that I am the person that is making sure that each and every single day I'm planting those seeds so that I can reap the harvest that my family deserves. I will tell you right now, at this moment, write down a plan for your life. What does that plan look like? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, as my sergeant used to always say, right? That is the reality of the matter. So if you are looking at this moment and you're like, you know what, 2023, it was a lot of ups and downs. Can we agree? Yes, it was a lot of smiling. It was a lot of success for me. But let's be real. Like, a lot of us overcame a lot of obstacles. A lot of us fought a lot of battles in private. Yes, that nobody ever needs to know. And that's okay, because God saw you through. Okay. And if he did it once, let me tell you one thing, he will do it again, over and over and over again. And he's still doing something right now in your life. Yes. Yes. Okay. And I'm not even going to go there, but we know. But give yourself some grace. Forgive yourself for this year not going the way that you wanted to do. But trust and believe that your goals are not observing holidays, right? It's a holiday, not a holly month. So take that time out to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to plan. I'm going to regroup. You know why so many people start the new year in the springtime on fire? Because they set themselves up for success in the fall, in the season where so many people are just relaxed, where so many people are just, oh, I'm just gonna chill, I'm just gonna have fun with my family. You know what, I'm over the year. I'll start my habits and my activity and everything that I gotta do, and the goals for my business and the goals for my life, and I'll do it next year. And you know, as soon as I do my vision board party, I know I'm gonna just manifest it. No, you gotta work for it. You gotta work for it. What does that plan look like for you? Start it right now. Start devising that plan right now. I also want you to write yourself, what are the non-negotiables in your life? So if you have a plan, right? Now also ask yourself, what are the non-negotiables in my life? What type of boundaries are you setting? What type of things is just not acceptable? See, it's one of my friends, Franco Villarreal, he was on a call with us a few days ago. He said, people are wearing mediocrity as a badge of honor. And I was like, sheesh. Why? Because some people are just so comfortable just living life average. And it's like, not me. I can't do it. It's like, I love being fly. I love all things luxury. I love to eat good. I love to look good. I want my family to be like that. I want my family to have the best of the best. I love blessing my friends, my family. Like, whenever they have an event, I want to be the person that's contributing, whether I'm there in person, whether I can send whatever. I'm just that person, because generosity is just a part of who I am. But I know that the only way that I can be continuously to be generous is because I have to keep doing the work each and every single day so that God can continue to bless me to further his kingdom. But if you're not putting a plan in place, if you're not saying, okay, I know that there are certain non-negotiables for me. I know that there are certain things that, and when I say non-negotiables, is like, what boundaries are you setting up right now? What things are you saying no to? Because your ability to say no in this season is going to be more important than the things that you say yes to. What if it's not allowing you to be at your highest and best use? Say no. If you know for a fact that it's not allowing you to make an impact in somebody's life, if it's not allowing you to cultivate a relationship, if it's not allowing you to do better, to be better, understand that you are entitled to say no. And somebody would be like, oh, you know, Pam, but it's like, I feel like I have to do this. You don't got to do nothing that you don't want to do. But put yourself in a place that says, you know how many successful people, they have zero hesitation to say no to some things, because they understand that that is not at my highest and best use right now. So I need to understand that if I'm the person that's here to break these generational curses of poverty, if I'm the person that's here that says, I'm going to break these generational curses of discord in my family, if I'm the one that's going to set people free, if I'm the one that's going to give people hope, if I'm the one that's going to show people what a thriving life looks like, what it looks like to add value to the community that I love, to the community that I serve, what does that look like? You got to say no to some things that are not serving you, because you have to pick and decide. Right? When we decide, we kill off all of the options. You got to say, this is not serving me in the season. And listen, your girl loves to have fun. If you know, you know. Right? I love to have fun. I love to turn up. But there's a season and there's a time and place for everything. So if I know that something is not allowing me, if it's not filling my cup, if it's not giving me what I need, if it's not contributing to my peace, if it's not contributing to my conversations, the relationships that I'm doing my best to foster, if it's not contributing to the profits, if it's not contributing to the productivity, I got to say no to it. And a lot of times it's not even you going outside, right? That you got to say no to. You got to say no to certain conversations that are not serving you. You got to say no to certain people in this season, because you have to know, what does that plan look like for your life? That plan that you want for your life in 2024 starts now. If you believe in the law of sowing and reaping, what are you sowing right now that you want to reap in 2024? Because when you revisit this conversation 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, can you honestly say, man, I put a plan in place. I said no to the things that were not serving me, right? I set the boundaries. I knew what my non-negotiables were, and then I executed. And when you have that plan, what those goals look like for you? What is it that you're going to do on a daily basis? What are those income producing activities? What are the things that you're doing each and every single day to get you closer to your goals? Each and every single day, what are the non-negotiables that you're going to do each and every single day to get you closer to those goals so that you can execute the plan that you have? Because if you don't have a plan for the goal, if you don't have the vision in mind, it's just a wish. But then you got to execute it. And here's how we execute: by doing it each and every single day. You want to reap what you're sowing. It's execution each and every single day. So what does that look like for you? It might look different for you than it looks like for me. So you set a goal each and every single day. And sometimes if you're the person that's like, oh, you know what? I don't even know if I could focus right now. I get it. I don't even know if this could be, if I have a lot of time. You don't need a lot of time. A lot of people are like, oh, you know what? I can't do this with a full-time job. That's a lie from the pits of hell. I'm going to release you from right now. I'm going to release you from right now. Wake up an hour earlier. Wake up an hour earlier every day. Oh, you got kids, you got family. Cool. Wake up an hour or two earlier. Go to sleep an hour or two later. You can make time. You always make time for the things that are important. You always prioritize what it is that is a priority for you, what it is that is a priority for your future. So if you're talking about, okay, well, what is something, here's a performance hack. Here's a productivity hack that I love to use. Shout out to my great friend and mentor, Mr. Josh Valentine, for this, right? It's our Pomodoro technique. So take out 25 minutes. You take out 25 minutes. You block out 25 minutes. And those 25 minutes, anything else but that task at hand is out of the question. So you set that timer for 25 minutes, and you say, you know what? I'm working on my business for 25 minutes. I'm working on these goals for 25 minutes. I'm working on this for 25 minutes. And you do that dedicated task for 25 minutes. And then you take a 5-minute break. And guess what? Do it again if you got an extra 25 minutes. But if you didn't, at least you put in 25 minutes of dedicated time into your business, of dedicated time into your goals, of dedicated time into what it is that you want to reap next year. But you got to ask yourself, how much does that mean to you? What does it mean to you when you're visualizing? We started off the morning with a David Goggins audio, one of my favorites. It's using the pain to keep pushing forward, right? Is knowing that same thing that's causing you pain is also the same thing that's going to give you power. It's knowing that same thing that was meant to break you is also going to be your breakthrough. But do you believe that? Do you know what that looks like for you in the moment of defeat? What are you doing in the moment that you're facing an obstacle, that you're going to adversity? What does it look like for you? Are you able to say, hey, you know what? I am going to take that thought and throw it out, and I'm going to replace it with something positive. I am going to say, no, you know what? I know what it is that my life is going to look like. I know what it is that that I'm going to say yes to. So what it is that I'm going to say no to right at this moment. because each and every single one of us have a dream that is inside of you, right? And maybe you're already that person that's like, I'm living out my wildest dreams. My life is a dream each and every single day. Amazing. But how many more people can you go and help and do that? How many more people can you honestly say that because of you, that they're living their fulfilled life, that they're living their dreams fulfilled, that they have a new day because you didn't give up? But a lot of times it's like we want things to happen overnight, and I get it. Life happens. But when you say, you know what, I have a vision for what I want my life to look like. I have a plan that's in place. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I have a plan. I have boundaries that I set up. I have non-negotiables. And in that plan, I understand that in that plan, hey, you know what? I'm going to have some obstacles. Sometimes I may face some adversity, but are you ready for it? And how you're ready for that is part of you knowing what your non-negotiables are, is saying, hey, I got to work on my mindset. I got to work on things that people can never take away from me, like my character, like my spirituality, like my mindset, like my faith, like my fitness, right? People can never take away your health, right? One of the things that I'm grateful to God that I can fight all of these things is like, yes, I take our Immunex, our supplements, or the bomb, but it's like I am consistently on my health. I'm not just on my health because it's a health challenge, right? Or a workout challenge. Like, no, I does this, right? I've been paying a personal trainer for over 2 years. Why? Because I am committed to my health and wellness, because I understand that it's not only for me physically, but it's also for me mentally. So again, what do those boundaries look like? What do those non-negotiables in your life look like? You deserve for this to be a December to remember. You deserve for us to go into 2024 and make it 30 million times better than 2023. But if you're going into this new year with the same mindset, with the same habits, I will be the first one to tell you, you're playing yourself. Don't play yourself, pay yourself. And with that, beautiful people, breakfast has been served. This has been your Breakfast Club call for December the 7th, 2023. As always, it is my pleasure, honor, and privilege to serve. Love you guys. God bless you guys. And we will be back on next week. Great day and God bless. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I read each and every single comment. So drop a comment. Hopefully you guys got value. As always, my pleasure. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Great day and God bless. Let's kill it.